Welcome back, I'm Dr. Ruckus, and today we are ranking up with Grixis midrange. This deck is sweet. It took me a little while to figure out and tweak, but once I got it in the state that it is now, it performed really well and I had a ton of fun playing it. Let's talk about some things that I learned and why the deck is built the way it is. First off, I want to give you some hints and see if you can figure it out. Cacophony Scamp. We play against this card. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Felonious Rage. When it dies, create a 2/2 token. Heartfire Hero. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. And the Evangelist, when it dies, makes a bad creature token. In case you haven't figured it out, dying actually adds a lot of punching power to these decks, and so if you kill something, when you remove it, if it doesn't die, if it's exiled instead with Torch the Tower or Scorching Dragonfire, it actually does a lot to take the edge off of these decks. So I had started out with some copies of Cutdown, but eventually took them all out for Torch the Tower and Scorching Dragonfire because the added benefit of exiling it instead of having it hit the graveyard and triggering that extra effect is pretty big, especially since Mono Red / Rakdos Fling is the most played deck right now. Cutdown also suffers from the issue that even though there aren't too many mono red cards that boost toughness besides Monstrous Rage or anything with a prowess trigger, which tends to give toughness as well, Slick Shot Show Off can still gain a lot of power, which ends up escaping Cutdown. So unless you're going to do it on your turn anyway, when there's no risk of it getting pumped up further, I found that Cutdown was too finicky in the slot anyway, and Torch the Tower and Scorching Dragonfire had that extra bonus of exile. In terms of playing them, I'll just say outright, if you have a hand and you think it's good and you think you can win the long game, you may not always want to play your instance on your opponent's turn because they're pretty easy to play around. Your opponent doesn't have to give in. They can generally deploy a second creature. If they think it's risky, they don't have to go for the pump spell. If you are going to play around it and you're going to try to bait them into it, I would put that cursor right over the next button and prepare to skip to the attack and the blocker step as quickly as possible to try to not give them the information that you have stick. In that case, sometimes they'll miss it and they'll just go for the pump spell anyway and you can blow them out, but it is risky. Those decks can be so powerful and can be so quick that sometimes it's not even worth taking the risk that they might blow you out. Instead, if they're tapped out on your turn, you might just want to eliminate their threats because if they don't have any creatures and they have nothing to target with their pump spells, then half their deck is useless. So just then keep in mind, the best strategy is, in my opinion, is not always to wait until their turn. Other cards that are important against red, which is a lot of the meta, at least a lot of the decks I'm playing against, is Life Gain. We got 2 copies of Virtue of Persistence, which doubles as a fantastic win con later. Especially since the deck doesn't have that many win cons, having 2 of these in here I thought was very helpful, and the incidental to life is quite nice. We also have Preacher of the Schism, like School? Schism, is that how you pronounce that? There's no more Graveyard Trespasser, which when it entered the battlefield or attacked, removed a card from the graveyard, gained a life. That was nice. It was that little bit of extra life gain that mattered. This is kind of our next best option these days, and it's very solid. I like this card when it came out too. 3 mana, 2/4, Death Touch. Great. Trades with anything. Opponent's got, a 7/5 trample mono red creature with Monstrous Rage. At least 4 toughness absorbs a lot, and we got Death Touch trade anyway, so that's solid. If you're behind, you can attack with it and create a vampire creature with lifelink. If they don't have trample, it's a great blocker, and the lifelink does add that extra bit of life. And if you're ahead in life, then you get to lose a life and draw a card. Either side of the coin, very good, and base case is a 3 mana, 2/4 Death Toucher. It's good, and you need it. You need it to stabilize, so 4 of those in there. And then the last obvious card is Shelter of the Apocalypse. If I didn't even know this card hadn't rotated yet. It's shocking this card's still around. It does everything. You need it against mono red back then, and you need it today because it's one of the only cards that can dig you out of the hole from turn 4 and get you towards that victory. The rest of the cards, there's one more. Oh my god. If you were wondering why even bother playing blue in Grixis, why not just play Rakdos? This card is nasty. This card is the most fun counterspell I've played in a long time, and it's crazy how frequent you can trigger extra mode. So base case is 1 blue and a blue for a straight up counterspell, counter target spell. Great, often needed. It's not very hard to have 2 extra mana lying around on turn 5 to also take the draw 2 and discard a card. Sets you up for your next turn, and if you have Sheldred and you need the life, even against mono red where counterspells are often dead, the draw 2 means you're actually gaining 4 life. So that's huge. The copy is... It came up more often than I thought, and I really enjoyed it because it's very cute. You attack with the Preacher, you get a 1/1, but your 2/4 Death Toucher is no longer around to block, so the opponent attacks, and you just out of nowhere pay an extra 3 to copy the Preacher, get a 2/4 blocker, eat their creature, or trade with a Death Touch, and it's fun. It's really fun. There aren't that many. Obviously, if you can copy the Overlord and have that enter the battlefield and deal an extra 4 damage, that's a huge blowout as well. There aren't that many creatures that are non-legendary, so you're not going to pull it off that often, but very cool, very flexible spell. I really enjoyed it. It felt powerful for sure. The rest of the cards are flexible, I would say. Planeswalkers are good. Jason Liliana, totally fine. Grixis Man, good sweeper. I don't know if you need that many. Teferi is a solid Planeswalker. Also, the draw synergizes with Sheldred well. I would say all these spots are relatively flexible. I started out with a lot of sweepers. I started out with 4 copies of Ill-Timed Explosion, because in my mind at the time, I thought that might help against the aggro meta, but over time, I realized that's not it. Those red decks are so fast, you just have to pick off their threats as quickly as possible with the, what is this, 8, 12, 14 copies of removal on turns 1 and 2. Just get rid of them as quickly as possible so they don't have any targets, and then proceed to gain life from there and eventually stabilize. And the sweeper is actually too slow against that matchup anyway, even though, as far as sweepers go, this is an excellent 4-mana sweeper. 4-mana is cheap in a lot of cases. I don't know what other 4-mana sweepers out there today are this good, and it's pretty easy to have a 4, 5, 6, or 7-mana card in hand to just wipe the board. Also, you get the draw discard, which triggers Sheldred. Like, this is a very good card. It just didn't really fit in with what I was facing against the meta, so I took it all out and basically put in the Overlord instead. I also tried out the Overlord of the Flood Pits. It's okay. I mean, turn 3, draw 2 cards, discard a card. Just didn't feel impactful enough to me. Obviously, if it sticks and you get to turn 5, you play it on 5 and it attacks every turn and draws your cards. Fantastic, but turn 3 do nothing didn't feel like enough for me. The other Overlord of the Bale Merc, turn 2, mill 4 cards, maybe add a card to your hand if you don't whiff, also felt a little bit underwhelming. Obviously, you can do the gimmicky route, you can do the render inert, you can play, the creature and then remove all counters the next turn and, turn it on, you get to draw a card, and like, that's not bad at all. If I didn't even bother trying this because it felt too gimmicky for me personally, but I wouldn't be surprised if you can get some wins doing this. Every time I've seen the Bale Merc enter the battlefield, I don't think I've really ever seen it do anything, so I wasn't impressed with that. Also started with Chandra, but cut it because it was too expensive. So yeah, if you were to play around, you could change some of the flex spots. I wouldn't be upset if you threw in some Urtai Resurrected, which has traditionally been a very good card. Flexible, has flash with all of our other instant stuff, and can counter or remove something. Pretty solid, but was totally happy with the Overlord today. 4 mana, deal 4 damage. Later, flip it, win the game. Very solid card. That's it. Enjoy the gameplay. Let's dive right in. This looks okay. We can keep this. 1 tap land and then got some early interaction. Blue Ginger Brute. Maybe blue-green food artifacts? Okay, we'll take the black here. Open that up. I don't think we need that land. We do need double black for Sheldred eventually. I guess we could get it down on 3. Maybe we do keep this. Turn 2, open up our removal, and then turn 3, run back the removal. Now, I don't know if they have hexproof stuff in here. I guess I wouldn't be surprised with green, but I don't know if there's room for that and whatever this deck is doing. Well, they're tapped out anyway. It's not a bad time to just Virtue now. At one point in time, there was this 3-mana, like, blue rune. And I think you would stick it on any artifact. And it was like a 5/5, like a 3-mana 5/5 onto an artifact. I don't know if people are still doing that in the food deck. There it is. I knew it. I guess people still are. That's a 5/4. When the glyph is put into a graveyard, discover 3. Okay. So, like we said, there's another tap land turn. Scorching Dragonfire isn't going to kill the glyph, though, unfortunately. So we're just getting down double black here. I mean, we're going to Sheldred next turn, or even Overlord next turn. This is a good card. We don't need more land. We'll leave it on top. I don't know when we'll play it, but find a time. Hopefully they try to glyph the Ginger Brute and we can Dragonfire. I think we eat the 1, although it's a lot of damage. I don't think they have a pump spell for the Ginger Brute. I just want to see what else they play. My turn, that's it? Okay, well, I don't know. We'll do this anyway. I think they let that go, right? And then, counter protect this thing. Now, impending is probably not an instant speed thing. I think we just have to go for it now. And it likely will not work, but we could run out Sheldred. I think we're kind of screwed no matter how this goes. Death Touch is interesting, though. I feel like this will fail, and then we'll basically be dead. I almost think the Sheldred trade's a better play. In case they do have hexproof. So we'll see. Maybe it's just a counterspell. Then either one won't work. Sheldred lands. Could bounce it, maybe. Could have an instant speed bite spell, I guess. We don't know. 2-0. So there's no bounce spell. They take the damage. It wasn't a counter spell. So they could have had a hexproof thing. Aha. That's actually okay. I mean, we can still trade here. Yeah, we'll take the trade. I mean, you stripped all the abilities anyway. Now they do get the glyph, which is Discover 3. And they get whatever this is. It's target creature. Alright. Well, that worked out as well as it could have. So now we zap this with the Overlord, I suppose. We can't hold up and counter magic, so we get down the tap land as well, yeah. Take 1 damage here. Okay, impending. Auto pay. Zap it. And get down the tap land. It would be close to Virtue. I feel like we're dead soon. I kind of want to bin this. Tough Cookie again. 1 blue open. And we don't have removal yet. Mockingbird for X equals 0. The counterspell is not doing it here. So we want to hold open double blue, which we are. And we got a single counter. The bird will get in. Then we can attack back and get a 1/1 lifelinker for whatever that's worth. Or if we hit land, we can slam Virtue and hope it survives long enough. The glyph again, gotta counter that. Okay. Still in this for now. So we can pay 3 and make this a 4/4, and that's going to hit pretty hard. Artifact creature, relatively useless here. We can hold open the counter, I guess. And create a copy of the Preacher. That'd be a lot of mana. Now we can do it all. Alright, let's get in there. Get my blocker. Impending is almost up. That's huge. Enters or attacks. I mean, that could be huge. Mockingbird's not an artifact, so we could zap it with Go for the Throat. But I'm thinking we... Artifact or creature? Oh man, we could... Oh, it's an enchantment. Okay. Well, we could still copy the Preacher and block the Tough Cookie. Yeah, that's about what I thought. Okay, let's see it. Copy you. Auto pay. Discard a card. The Go for the Throat's not that important, especially with Jace. Maybe it's like this. You can do this, and you can just chump here. Gain a life. Down to 4, up to 5. It's not looking that bad yet. We could slam Virtue here. It's pretty good. If you Zoetic Glyph this, how does that work? It seems like it would keep flying. So do we play around that? Basically, we'd have to Jace. If we slam Virtue and it works, it's big. If we don't, we attack next turn. We also kill the Mockingbird. So maybe we just keep the Mockingbird low for a turn, as boring as that is, and let the Overlord deal with stuff. Because I think we lose if... I think if you want to eliminate sources of failure, you just do it like this. Get our triggers, get our lifelinkers. Surveil. No land. We have a 5/5 blocker on the ground. Every time it attacks, it deals 4 damage. That's huge. Soul Cauldron. What kind of combos? I guess they can make things unblockable. No, Gingerbread's not down there. I don't know what that is. Loses all abilities. Alright, that's fine. Preacher's still doing work here. Counterspell's fantastic. That means we can... Yeah, that's fine. Technically, we could mill ourselves. What's that? It's 5 there. Yeah, let's keep... let's do it this way. Sheldred is really good. We hold the counter as well. I think that about wraps it up. That's really good. We're holding the counter to the glyph in case they can make a 5/4 flying Flying Bird. And then we'll draw off Sheldred and get out of death range, and then we'll have some flexibility. Oh, they block. All right. Great. They can do something. I guess I'm put a counter on it. That's okay. We'll take the lifelink. That's okay. Forgot it. It doesn't just take the abilities, it also puts a counter on it, but we'll just do what we can here. Now, with 4 mana, we can also create a copy of something. Potentially the Overlord, and zap something, which could be good. Yeah, I think that's the way to go here. They haven't scooped, but copy the Overlord, deal 4 damage to the Mockingbird. Let's see if they go for the Glyph. No, they scoop. No, the safer play with that land is just counter it. Not be super cute, but that is cool. Yeah, that's a good counterspell. On the draw, looks totally good to me. Got a sweeper, got a lot of early interaction. Red. Red do nothing, my favorite kind of red. I guess you just go for the land here. Liliana for something to do on turn 3. It's not bad. And we... Let's see. It kind of depends how we play the lands. We have another tap land to get through here. I guess we might not be able to do this on 3 anyway. Because we might need to go for the throat this coming turn. Okay, opponent thinks, does nothing, no shock. Maybe saving shock for the next Liliana. It's a 2-drop. It's a Fugitive Codebreaker. 2 mana, 2/1, Prowess, Haste. What else does it do? Turn face up, discard your hand. Okay. We're just going to hold go for the throat here. And see if there are any of the pump spell mono red decks. Another one. Okay. Alright. You got it. Here's a tap land. We just need one more land. I mean, Sheldred's extremely good, but we really need more land to just play more spells, unfortunately. It's a little bit of a shame. I think, yeah, we'll hold on one more turn in case they do have pump spells. I mean, Prowess. They're going to want to play some non-creature spells, and maybe they target the Codebreaker. I don't know. Do you want to go for it? They say no. That's fine. We'll just burn this anyway. I don't need to screw around with it too much. We're at 16 against mono red. Let's see if they have a follow-up creature. Maybe a Virtue of Persistence. They plot something? Let me discard card, sacrifice land. Okay. Well, we don't have anything to do here. So we just hold our more removal. They plot another card. A Slick Shot. So we want to hold the Dragonfire for that if we can. Otherwise, do they just kill Teferi immediately? I guess it depends what they have. Doesn't matter because we have another tap land here. I think you just want land for the time being. Try to go into Chandra. But I guess they'll have an explosive turn. They'll Slick Shot. Then they'll do a 0-mana robbery. And then, you know, another 2 instants or sorceries. So we're hoping the Dragonfire can pick it off at some point here. It only gets +2/+0 though. It's again +2/+0 and first strike. Okay. Scry 1, we'll let it go off. They might have more stuff to apply. I mean, Dragonfire even goes through Monstrous Rage. It'd have to be like a +2/+2 pump. I think there's one of them that like makes it 2/2 detective if the creature dies. I want to say that's +2/+2. I haven't played that card yet. I think they sacked a land, the tap land. 3 mana left. Let's see if they go for anything else. I mean, we got 4 mana open. We're doing nothing. Yeah, we will attempt this. Let's see if they have some kind of +2 toughness defense. They don't. That's huge. Let's see if they play anything else. Nope, they plot a Stingerback Terror, 4 mana, 7/7, flying trample, plus for each card in your hand. Alright, well, I don't know how we kill that yet. But we're starting here. Maybe Chandra needs to copy something. Oh, -1/-1 for each card in hand. Hold on, that's not that bad. Okay, it's a 3/3 dragon. 4 mana open. Let's see how much they can play. They have the ability to deal 5 damage. That's interesting. But they're all tapped out now. And we don't hit the other land for Chandra, which is too bad, because that would deal with this really well. I mean, we could bin to Fairy and try to hit land. I guess that's fine. We don't have a better way to deal with this right now. Land is good. We have to bin to Fairy-ish. We could keep the land and bin one of the virtues. Keep Go for the Throat. Okay. And Virtue gives a -7 for the explosion, which is not bad. I mean, if they're just going to kill this thing, then we got to go for it anyway. Well, +1. Try to get something at least to cast next turn.
Stopping tyrants like you is kind of my thing.
3 damage, and I guess 3 damage again.
Awaken the inferno, buddy.
Shock for 2. What's another shock, I guess? Alright. Well, can't say I'm too upset about that. Counterspell and Torch Tower. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. So I guess we can take the draw discard here. It's not awful, and we actually cannot do anything else. We want the land, we don't need the torch. Maybe we don't need the cut down. Don't think we need any more land. We'll just slam Virtue this coming turn. And then start getting back Sheldreds. Which I think is down here somewhere, yeah. And then that should wrap up the game. Oh! Well, that makes it a little more interesting, I suppose. I think you take the first one. Okay. It's not a bad card. I think you just get Virtue down here. Alright, it's 2-1 now. But I think we have so much removal, we should be able to survive a number of these things. And they all have low toughness. Can you kill an enchantment in mono red? I'll be surprised. I don't know that that many things do that. Down to 13. Preacher would be big. We can get a 1/1 blocker. I think these things have trample though. Okay, we definitely just want our Sheldred here to start. More sweepers, don't need that at the moment. Hold open everything else. Squee. That's a Dragonfire target. I don't really know what they're going to do with it. I guess they could kill the Preacher. I think there's no reason to risk that because it's so good. Let's just take this opportunity to not bargain. Just Torch. And then we can attack with the Preacher and maybe even attack with both from this position. With Go for the Throat open. It's probably okay. Okay. 5-1. No blocks. Down to 10. Guess it's you. Another Preacher. Not bad. I think we're good to go here. Hold open, Go for the Throat. Get a 1/1 Vampire. And should win next turn. Okay. Slow game, but managed to get there. On the draw, we can keep this. A lot of interaction, no win cons. Mono black, greedy freebooter. When it dies, scry. Okay. I think we just get attacked. I don't think we're under pressure to torch the tower here. We have a lot of 2-drops to go though. Maybe that's fine actually. Maybe we can pick off the 2-drop with torch and then turn 2. Pick something else off and then turn 3 get the tap land and also Dragonfire. We'll just take 1 here. What else you got? No bat? Yeah, we'll just take this out. I guess that's fine. No treasure token for you. Let's see if they sack it in response. 2 mana sack, draw 2 cards. Yeah, they do. Okay. Maybe a waste of time on our part. Well, I really want to hold Go for the Throat here. Feels like a shelter turn. Virtue. We can bin Virtue to deal 7 damage to everything. No shelter, do nothing. 3 steps ahead. We don't have the mana to counter anything. Yeah, we'll keep that land. Would open up a counterspell for a double blue. Outrageous robbery. Well, they took my land. That's too bad. You can play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. Haha. Okay. Well, we hold a counterspell now at least. Doing it again. I mean, he's getting 2 cards for that. I guess that's not really what we're looking for here. Don't like that. It is an outrageous robbery. Opponent just chilling in full control here. Mirrex could be good. It is a win con against an opponent who otherwise is just sitting on a bunch of removal. Yeah, not surprising. Alright. Mirrex is pretty good. And eventually we can Virtue Persistence. Okay. So what do you think is their ability to kill an enchantment? There is definitely some black that can do that, but not that much. Ho 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 ho. Wow. Well, okay. Do we have any cards that can kill enchantments? I want to say no. We don't have the land. Anyway. We do have the poison tokens, though. Well, this is going to be tough. First land of many. I don't know why I didn't play this land earlier. Faker and Death. +2/+0. Turn the battlefield tapped. Okay. I mean, to an extent, we can just sweep everything if we need to. I guess this plus Go for the Throat, maybe? Ideally, we hit land for Virtue. But I don't think we need to sweep here. We don't want them to attack either. What does that first attack do? They're the most life they draw a card, which I don't really want to happen. And they could sack this again, probably. Draw 2 more cards. Counterspell. Can spend mana of any color. Alright. They're tapped out. Yeah, we could attack all and then Dragonfire it. It exiles it, which is too bad because we actually kind of want it back, but it's okay. Save Go for the Throat for Sheldred, which might be coming still. Although, I think we would have seen that last turn. Okay, have not hit the land for Virtue yet. I think that'd be huge, although now that we know they can still counter spells, that's kind of brutal. And I don't know what else they would have that they haven't cast. Pay 1 and tap. Great treasure token. Well, it does not seem like they got Sheldred. I think we would have seen that by now. They could have one more counterspell in here. Weird. Do you think that last spell is a counterspell? What else? I mean, it could be a land, I guess. I think we go for it here. It has to precisely be a second counterspell. No, it sticks. Okay. Well, in terms of creatures, they have none except for the 1/1. And we have the Preacher down here. And as soon as we kill that, we can get this guy, although I don't know how important that is. Okay, Preacher it is. Teferi's cool. Hold open, Go for the Throat. Draw or threat? I mean, we're defending it pretty well for now. It's not like we can play anything else this turn. Looks like it dies immediately. Okay. Left over with a decent body at least. Another one of these guys. What is the point of this? Do we literally have no targets? No, we can always get back to 1/1. I don't think it's worth it to kill anything just for that effect. Alright, not a very heroic attack. You're dead, but we got the trigger. Okay. We just get it back next turn. Don't feel like we need to kill these things. That's a card. I guess we can copy Go for Throat and get in for more damage. Not hugely important.
You have no idea who you're messing with. Now or never.
Okay, it's a lot of treasure. I don't know what they're doing with it. Get him. Down to 9. Oh, God. Each player exiles all but the bottom 6 cards of their library at the beginning of your upkeep. Draw a card. Wow. Is that it? Well, I guess we're not doing any fancy pluses here. We'll just take the +2, or we can minus X, I suppose. -6. Yeah. That's probably it'll do it. Alright. Super weird deck. Draw a card. We don't lose yet. Alright, that was a strange game of Magic. On the play. Looks solid to me. We'll keep this. Okay, Surveil here. Shelly is a good card for sure. We would have double black. We don't have that next land yet. But it's, you know, obviously very strong. I think we'll keep that. Otherwise, you dig for more land, I think. It's mono red with a 1-drop with haste. That's okay. Go ahead and we need black. And this does add black. Although fast land is fine here as well. Alright, we'll take the opportunity just to zap this thing. Get a life. Getting to be on the play is always a privilege. See if they tap out again. No, they plot the show off. Okay, so we can hold double red. We should be able to nab them here. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't know if they can boost the toughness. This is why we play this over cut down. 2 damage does kill this flyer. They plot again. Oh no, they're just going for the wombo combo. It's a scamp. Alright, we'll zap that. Got nothing better to do. You die, you don't deal any damage, which is nice. Whew, so if we play Sheldred, do we just die this turn? Alright, I mean, we can't do that many more spells. We might die, right? They go like 2 Monstrous Rage attack with everything. Do you have to hold open Torch here just for that? That seems pathetic. Maybe you do. Okay, show me your big slick shot thing. But Monstrous Rage is the issue. That gets it up to 3 toughness. Okay, is that it? Slick shot for 0? Alright. Rage there. Yeah, alright. Torch here then. It's still a lot of damage. But maybe not as much as I was anticipating. I think they played land this turn? Let's see. No, they hadn't. Let's see if they got one more. Could be game. So if we had not played Sheldred, Or rather, oh man, it's the next Monstrous Rage. I'll just go F myself. That would have been what? 3, 4, 5, 6? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. Dragonfire. I think it is Dragonfire here. Is there any incentive to not doing it now? I mean, a little bit. Let's see how they play this. Ideally, we get to... Okay. Well, let's hope that next card is not a pump spell. Going for it. Nice. Down to 7. With Sheldred on the way. Last card could very well be a land. Counterspell is not where we need to be. Teferi minus is probably not it. It's probably just slam Sheldred, hope to survive one more turn. And then Teferi draw extra cards every turn. So let's see if they can find it right here. Monstrous Rage. It's another show off. I think the last card... Yeah, it's not a... That's interesting. Yeah, I'll take the damage. We take 3 here. Alright, we're in the game. The draw 2 off this could be good as well. Teferi draw, though? If they cast the spell and they get the trigger anyway, we're basically dead. I think you hold on. Whether or not we counter it, they get the prowess trigger. We don't need to do anything yet because, I mean, we're just going to take the card draw. Block here. We can counter it. Yeah, I mean, we can counter it and draw. Counter target spell and draw 2 cards and discard. Pay 5. Auto pay. So the drawing the cards will trigger the Sheldred. Discard a card. Probably, I mean, Surveil's interesting. But if we hit a playable, I guess we want the untapped land. Gain that crucial life. Take 6, drop to 4. 1 to the face, down to 3. That's a good draw. It's a playable. Land. We can save this again because we're not under imminent threat. Let's just draw. That's nice. I don't even know if we attack here. Like, I'd rather block a hasty creature. Now what? Nope. Not doing that. It's, this one, yeah? Oh, man. It's going great. As well as it could have against mono red. We'll continue to draw 2 cards per turn, up 4 life per turn. They're not giving up, but we have the next Dragonfire. Draw, more removal, fantastic. At this point, we can attack because we have 2 removal spells. Well, land is okay. I don't even know if it's worth... Yeah, it's fine. We'll play it out. Double removal spells is just fine here. Drop to 8. Nope. You're not getting out of this one, bud. I got you. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. We came to play. On the play, 2 Surveil lands, potentially into a Preacher, though. And the counterspells. It's not amazing. But, in theory, on turn 2, we could torch their 1 or 2 drop and still hit Preacher on 3 as long as we Surveil into the untapped land. So let's give that a go. That's not an untapped land. Let's try again. Mono black, do nothing. Okay, show me the untapped land. There you go. Alright. Now we can Preacher on 3 or hold a counterspell if we really feel like it. And there's a target for torch. Let's go ahead and zap that bad boy. Okay. Preacher on the board. Could get immediately throated. Or Liliana'd. Yeah, let's go for the throat. Well, we sit here with a double counterspell. We can also get Jace down. That seems pretty good. Let's do it. In terms of milling, it's tempting to mill ourselves. Do we have anything good down there? I guess not really. I guess we have Virtue Persistence, but that can do either graveyard. We'll see if milling the opponent bites us in the butt. Still no land. What does this thing do? Target opponent discards a card. Whenever one or more players discard one or more cards, investigate. Okay. We could get rid of the expensive Teferi. If we hit land, we Overlord. Counterspell's pretty good as long as we have a Planeswalker out. So I think we just take the most expensive card here. It's not a land, which is too bad. So it's the plus here. And then I guess the Preacher. I would like to hold the Counterspell. Counterspell... Nah, we'll run out Preacher here. See if it gets throated again. It does, immediately. But Jace stays alive another turn. It's their own Preacher. We need land. Not land. Not even close. Okay, well. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. We might do that instead. Depends how devastating this next turn is. Cavern Bat. Countering that is not really helpful, so we let this resolve. And then we probably take the draw discard here. But it's like, yeah, stuck on land, man. What are you gonna do? Now the problem is, as soon as the Preacher starts attacking, they draw cards every turn, and then we basically lose. So we have a short window to do something here. Probably to hit land, and then Overlord the Preacher, and hope that's enough. But it looks like they have to attack a player, actually. So they won't get the draw this turn. Oh, they do. Attacks while you have the most life. This says when it attacks the player with the most life. We need a rules lawyer. Oh yeah, no, I'm reading the opposite. Okay. Yeah, that's just how it is. Okay, let's see if we can come back. It's gotta be draw discard. It's a land, and it's a removal spell. Probably one of the counter spells goes here. Grixis command could be huge. We just need one more land. I would like to play Sheldred. We don't know if they have the third go for the throw. If they don't, then we start to get in a good spot. So I think I'm going to go for it here. Other options, do nothing. Let them attack, draw another card. 3 steps ahead into the land, Grixis command the board. It's maybe okay. But we've seen Tooth go for the throat, so what's the chance they have the third or fourth? They could have Sheldred's Edict. They could have the Planeswalker zapping ability. They go for everything. I guess they want a -3/-3 with Virtue. So we go no blocks here, actually. And then we sweep with Grixis command, assuming we hit the untapped land off the top. I think that's the Virtue Persistence -3/-3 attack. It's our own Sheldred. We could zap it now, but then we're in the same spot as last turn. We want the land. It's a fast land. It's not the land I wanted. So now what? So now we're in the same position as last time. And we are go for throating their Sheldred, I guess. We could do it now before they draw. The life total doesn't matter that much. I mean, it's going to be the same outcome either way. So I think we're basically fine to do it now. Waiting till combat I don't think changes much. They draw, get their life gain. We neutralize it. No attacks. Well, yeah, I mean, we have a big Grixis command this coming turn. If it sticks, we wipe their entire board. We just have to take 8 damage this turn and hope they don't have backup Sheldred to deploy. Liliana, sack a creature. That hurts. Well, we got mana screwed, and we've hung in there, and we actually have a chance. It's just very low at this point, but it's certainly possible. I mean, even the Overlord could be good. The problem is we're just dead to Sheldred. Highest creature, 2 or less. Let's do it. Okay, we get back you. You could pick off Liliana. If it's Sheldred, we die. Hey, slam the Virtue. Get back Sheldred on their turn. Guess the counterspell. Target artifact or creature you control. It's not looking good. If they get back Sheldred, then we immediately lose. So there's no way to do it. Unless we can gain life right now, which we can't. So, that's it. Zap you. On upkeep, they get back Sheldred. On return, upkeep, draw, lose 2 life. Yeah. That's just how it is. Yeah, we got mana screwed. Otherwise, we totally would have been in that game. On the play, looks good. Keep this. Alright, Surveil here. Dragonfire. We already have the curve. Yeah, I don't think we need it, I guess. We got Go for the Throat, into Preacher, into Sheldred. Skrelv. Haven't seen a Skrelv yet. Okay. Actually, this is a Surveil land. That's too bad. And Go for the Throat is not going to help because they'll play something. And they can make it hexproof anyway. So there's nothing we can do this turn. So we might as well get this guy down. I mean, it'll win games. I think we keep that. Fear of missing out. 2 mana, 2/3. Discard a card, draw a card. When it attacks the first time each turn, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, untap target creature. After this phase, there's an additional attack phase. They tap out though, so I could just dome this thing now instead of playing the Preacher. It seems like we don't have to though. We'll just block with this thing. Maybe I'll regret that. This must be the Boros enchantment deck that I've been hearing about, maybe? Arabella. What does that do? Oh, spooky. 2 mana, 1/3. Whenever it attacks, you'll X damage each opponent. You gain X life for X. It's the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. That's so much. Okay. Well, we can't kill it now, but we can kill Skrelv now. Otherwise, they can get in for a lot of damage, I guess. So let's -3 you. Who are they trying to keep alive here? Obviously, in response, we can Go for the Throat the other one. They want to keep you alive. Okay. Well, we'll zap you then. If you're that important. Oh, you still... Oh, you're an artifact toy. Alright. Okay. So what, you're hexproof? Black. Just hexproof, though. Hexproof from black. Okay. Well, if we attack, then what do we get? We have more life. So we draw a card. Seems pretty good. Hold Go for the Throat, I think is fine. Artifact toy. It's creepy. Ooh, that's not good. I think you just obliterate that immediately, right? We are not moving to combat. No, we are not. It's when anything, right? Whenever you attack with 1 or more non-gnome creatures. Gross. Counterspell's cool. Looks like a Shelly turn here. The counterspell gets so good later on. Let's try for Shelly. Yeah, we can attack, make a 1/1 blocker. I'm down for it. Little lifelink blocker. Looks good to me. Another one of these guys. So when they get critical mass, there's an additional combat phase. I mean, that's scary for sure. Imidane's Recruiter. Down to 12, they drew a card. Played a land. Well, how many card types we got? Okay, so now we can Go for the Throat and counter something, which is pretty good. How aggressive is... We attack, we get to draw a card. We'll kill one of these things. They could have 2 combat phases. That would not be great. If we just do this, we just get our card draw and keep Sheldred back. That seems reasonable to me. Let's get our card draw. Draw a card, do the Sheldred thing. If they want a multiple block, we have Go for the Throat. They eat it, that's fine. Play our land, just chill. They're down to 10. We have the counterspell and we have Go for the Throat. They're down to 8. It's a land. How bad is this? 5 mana, create 2 night tokens with vigilance. We can counter it and draw a discard. And you get completely out of lethal. Seems fine. I don't know if it's necessary, but it's at least fine. Could lose 1 Sheldred. I don't think Torch is super useful. Yeah, Scoop. Very nice. Very solid Grixis here. On the draw. Looks okay. It's mono red. We have cut down without black. Okay. Too bad. Double black. We'll need that. We'll keep it. It's Rakdos Fling. Alright, here they come. We're all tapped out. They get to do the thing. Has to be Go for the Throat now, which is okay. And Rage. And it's a 6/2. Okay, we see if we just lose here. Slick shot. Is that it? Okay. Well, it's got to be like this. Fortunately, take 4 to the face. Do we wait for a Monstrous Rage, or do you kill the Slick Shot now? I don't know, but we're 1 turn from Sheldred. Scamp, 1 mana open. We just try to pass as quickly as we can. Nope. We'll try it. See if they have another Monstrous Rage. +2/+0, but when it dies, and they get the damage too. Cut down not looking as good. Maybe it needs to get cut, actually. Sweep here versus Sheldred, I think has to happen like this. You in the fast land. Down to 3. Lightning Strike face. No. Slick Shot. Anything else? Down to 2. I need any non-creature spell. Almost any spell at all. Yeah, I think we lose here. Sure. Anything besides a land should be victory. A creature. Equip 3. Yeah, alright. That's too bad. Cut down is not the... I guess there's too many pump spells for power that you can't cut down in response. Maybe it's just not worth it. Maybe you just have to cut down on your own turn. On the draw. We'll keep it. Let's see if we have to... Yeah, I mean, I think you have to hold Torch the Tower here. Against red. Otherwise, I would have played the sewers first. Let's see that 2-drop. Yep. Goodbye. Good to get it out of the way while we can still hit it. We have nothing to do here. Yeah, we could Scorching Dragonfire. Alright. Let's hold. So can we kill something, anything with 3 toughness? I think that basically no matter what. Let's see if they go for it. We passed very quickly. Yeah, so this is fine. Very nice. Okay, and we hold Go for the Throat now. More land would be good. It's a tap land, but we have things to do on 3. And we have double black, so I guess you take it. Because even if they double spell this turn, we can still Liliana. And if they don't, we could Jace, although taking the 2 life isn't ideal. Okay, equip. Alright, yeah, we'll zap it. Liliana plus is actually okay. What do we get rid of, though? Everything's pretty good. We get rid of Jace. How good is that? Jason plus is interesting. Nah, Liliana plus is good here, I think. We bin the Jace, and they know if they can't kill Liliana, then we just minus their creature next turn, and then they're really unhappy. So they got the Sellsword Flame, which makes sense because they have Sulphur Springs. Good game. Good game. Goodbye. Alright, thank you for staying to the end. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like, a comment, and subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.